Turtle was frustrated. It was a bad hair day. Her springy, sprightly curls absolutely, positively would not stay in place. I think it's very interesting and very telling when I think about culture and Black culture and African American culture and then African American women's culture, even though African American and African American women are diverse. There are still so many things that tie us together, and one of those things is the hair experience. They refused to obey the brush or the comb. They did not care how loud she screamed or how long she moaned. They were fantastic, fabulous, frolicking, and feisty. Why, oh why, Turtle asked, won't you just be nice to me? You know, my relationship with my own hair is a daily experience. And I don't know that that is not an experience that is had in other communities, but I know that the way that we talk about our hair is unique to our community. And so for me, the story is it's not a conversation with mainstream about whether or not the hair is okay, which I think has been done in books. Where I think The Turtle with an Afro is different is that it's more of an internal conversation with people who have curly hair, who we know we get frustrated with it. We want our curly hair. You know, it's not about me wanting my hair to be straight. I just want it to do what I want it to do, and it doesn't do the same thing every day, or it takes time, and that's frustrating. But those crazy curls had extravagant plans to dance and jump and bounce all over her head. Shimmy, 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 slip, slide, twirl, shake, shake, shake it out, whirl, whirl, whirl. I like when stories, you know, are poetry and our song. And kids love poetry and song. Rainbow, blue skies, open up your... I was born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. We grew up on the east side of Columbus. My love of books started with my mother. She read a lot to us when we were younger. And so just the typical like reading stories at bedtime. And my parents were really big on instilling in us just the beauty of Black culture and African culture. When I got a little bit older is when I can remember books with Black characters. Turtle watched them twist and turn, full of shimmer and shine. 1,000 works of art, she thought, and each one is mine. So today I have a husband and 2 children, and I'm an educator and a writer. I got my master's degree in comparative studies, where I studied African American women and thinking about race and the influence of colorism in African American women. And eventually went on to get my doctorate in education, where my focus was multicultural and equity studies. And so what I think the through line through all of that is just thinking about people and diversity in our stories and how they matter to the lives that we live. She whipped her head around and around, jumped back, forth, up and down, styling and profiling with her lovely locks. Turtle was ready to rock. And I'm not an artist. My father was an artist. My brother's an artist. I didn't get the art gene. It was important for me for the illustrator to be a Black woman. And so I found her on Instagram. I went through and found some posts about Black women illustrators. We both talked about being sensitive to the topic of hair and the idea that this turtle was having a bad hair day, how that could potentially come off as seeing curly hair as negative. And so really being intentional through the story and pictures to convey that it's not the hair that was bad. Everybody has bad hair days, but this is a story about, you know, a turtle who's just negotiating her love for her hair. So just like that, Turtle saw the light. Her curls were absolutely, positively dynamite. When there are times when I feel like frustrations with just being an independent publisher and, you know, the struggles of knowing that I feel like I have a good story and I want the exposure, you know, you get those voices in your head, and then I hear back from people who are like, this story matters. My kids like this story. It's important. And it drives you to go ahead and keep putting those stories out there because people want them and appreciate them. their lives are changed by stories, just like my life was changed by stories. So it matters. Flow fierce and fly free, Turtle said. And look at that afro, a crown